Hi, good day to everyone. Myself Ilawatiana Murugan, along with my partner Prasad Analalaki Komatun. So today we are here to present about hematology laboratory workflow. So basically we're going to explain about diagnosis of anemia related disease. So let's get started. So basically the reason why we choose anemia related disease is anemia is one of the most common disease that has been diagnosed in hematology. So what is anemia? Anemia is a condition in which you lack enough healthy red blood cell to carry adequate oxygen to our body. As we know, anemia also is referred as low hemoglobin and can make us feel tired and weak. There are many forms of anemia, each with its own causes. Me and my partner Prasad has come out with an interesting idea to set up a lab in a house. So basically, we have designed a hematological lab workflow in order to diagnose a anemia related disease. So let's get started. So I'll be taking the honor to explain about our workflow in hematology lab to diagnose a anemia related disease. So basically, this black marks indicates a door. So as soon as you enter the door, you'll be facing an entrance. Entrance there will be a patient waiting area. So patients can come and wait for their turn while they can register as well. In this registration, staff will be taking the identification of the patient in terms of age, sex, dietary intake and treatment. Also physiological changes so that we don't give a wrong treatment. To be more understanding, I've designed this workflow as also with including the working parts here. As you can see here, this is the working parts in our lab. So as soon as patients are registered here, they will be walking through this way and then turn their right and then take another right on them. So they can see another door which leads to a phlebotomy area. So in that phlebotomy area, they will be having sample collection by the staff. So basically phlebotomy, here patients will come and the staff will draw blood from the patient to diagnose their disease. So the blood that collect in the phlebotomy will be sent to the sample collection area. So here we receive all the samples from the patient that we collected earlier. So here we will be having a small sample collection and sample processing in terms of types of samples where in diagnosing anemia, we're not only using full blood, we also will be using serum, plasma, and so on. So we will be receiving different types of vacutainer tubes such as EDTA, plain tube, and so on. Even we use citrate tube. So in this processing phase, we will be having all the samples will be processed. For example, the EDTA will be sent directly to run the test, while the plain tube will be centrifuged to spin and obtain the serum for testing the biochem test, for example, like iron test and so on. And at the same place in the processing, we will be having a small blood bank as well to store all our blood samples and blood component samples, red cells, platelets, and plasma and cryoprecipitate. So for this processing, we will be including of storage, timing, temperature, centrifugation, and transportation. As we all know, blood bank not only have red cells, but also other components as well. So in that case, we will be storing all the components for every different temperature. For example, red cells will be stored at 2 Celsius to 6 degrees Celsius, while platelet and leukocytes will be stored at 20 degrees Celsius to 24 degrees Celsius, while the plasma will be stored at negative 18 degrees Celsius or lower. Also, the cryoprecipitate will be also stored negative 18 degrees Celsius or lower. So beside this processing phase, we have a small storage room where we keep all the storage item in terms of like apparatus, instruments, tubes, and needles and bag, so that it's easy for us to get things which is very near to the sample collection and phlebo area. So these are pre-analytical phase where we store the samples, we transport the samples, we centrifuge the sample, and we store the sample as per their temperature. So, right coming out from the phlebotomy area, which is pre-analytical areas, you will be coming out from here and you will have a washroom right in front of you, and also there'll be a pantry right beside the washroom. As we all know, their staff will be working at the lab, so we need a pantry for them to have their meals in a safe and clean way. So, walking to the straight, there will be analytical and post-analytical phase, which will be presented by my partner Prasad and Analytic Komat.
Hi, I am Prasad Komagan here. Today I will be presenting to you all about analytical and post-analytical, and the part I will be presenting here are hematology, biochemistry, interpretation area, and about the treatment room. Okay, basically the quality control and what are the things that we need to follow in you know in the benches I mentioned above, mentioned before. So first of all will be the hematology. For hematology, there will be it will be something related to full blood count, blood analysis, whatever related to blood. It will be you know for the blood, regarding our platelet count, our MCH, regarding all those materials. It will be under hematology. And for hematology, there will be the machines that we will be using for for the interpretation of full blood count, uh, for the most of the time for the full blood count. It will be placed in a area where there's no any leakage, water leakage, which is very important. And besides that, there will be a PBF area where we will be doing our blood smear, and for that we need a proper water supply and a proper water discard place for us. They must prepare a better flow for us to conduct experiment and to conduct the staining as well. And there will be ABO area for us to do the ABO blood grouping, and for that we need a better light, because most of the times we are advised to use the tube method. For tube method we need a proper light, to identify which blood group actually agglutinate in the tube. And besides that, there will be a cross match area. And for cross match, we are most of the time, where we'll be using machines, and to be more precise, we will use the tube as well. So we need a centrifuge, and the centrifuge must be you know counted, and every morning we must check how the speed and the time, you know that is the quality control we must emphasize in every lab, so we will get a precise and accurate speed, and the blood will be centrifuged at the proper and correct speed as well. And above all of that, there must be a washroom for us to for any emergency purposes, to clean ourselves. And moreover, the place must be dry, so we can avoid any accident, in the sense of sleep. Then there will be no any blood spillage on the floor. Okay, let's move on to the biochemistry. Biochemistry is a department where we will be conducting the extraction of blood, for what, for the test to done, related to urine, our liver, the liver function, for the lipid, so all of those. So for that we need a machine where the machine must be at a proper temperature, and it is advisable for us to place an air conditioner above the machine, so the machine will be in a proper and accurate temperature. And besides that, there must be a proper water flow for the machine, So during extraction the machine will be using some amount of water, so for that we need proper distilled water and a proper water flow for it without any blockage. And every morning that machine must be calibrated and the quality control must be recorded as well, so to avoid any incorrect or false result. Okay. And for both of these benches we need a place for us to dispose all those waste in the sense of, okay, gloves, all those will be a waste that we can use that green color bin. And for any material related to blood or any needles, any material that related to bacteria that exposed to this bacteria, urine or something, we need to dispose it in a yellow bin. Okay. Overall that, then we will move on to interpretation area. Okay, interpretation area is the area that the most important area. Why? Because interpreted the result that we obtain must be interpreted accurately. We cannot be saying that, okay, hematology, then under hematology we can't be saying that it's something related to the liver function. So interpretation area, that the result must be printed, must to the bench it belongs to. Okay. And the result must be checked by the head of the department and the lab director as well before it released to the patients and interpreted to them. Okay. Besides that, we will move on to the treatment room. Okay, treatment room. For treatment room, the quality control will be regarding that all the materials, the apparatus, including the gloves, the blanket, the bed itself, must be sterile. Sterile means it is free from any bacteria or virus exposure. So it is, because while we are treating, or while we request any patient to get themselves ready in the treatment room, so if it is not hygienic and it is something related to internal checkup or internal treatment, so we can expose them to this infection. So it is very important for us to keep the treatment room is free from any bacteria, and the things are the apparatus and the materials are in a sterile condition. And the most important, it must know all the sharp materials must be placed in a tray, and it is free from it is out from the contact of uh, uh, general people around there. So that's all from me, and rest of it will be from my team member Lila. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening out for our presentation. Hope you guys like it.